put together a strategic plan early on in my presidency was very important from the standpoint that all institutions are finding a different environment in which they operate in. And so we have to really reflect on who we are, what we've done well, what our traditions are, but now how do we modify that and create more of a transformative experience for our students as we move forward. Well, the real purpose of having a strategic plan is to give guidance, to give focus. Without a clear plan in place, it's very easy to get sort of off track, or where you get mission creep, so to speak. And this way, we begin to align all of our resources, our areas of focus, our expertise, and what we want to be known for in a very concentrated manner. And everything we do, from the traditional academic piece to facilities, to the enrollment management, to this tutoring, to all the support services, is geared towards how do we make the student learning development be as successful as possible. In developing the plan, it was very important to be as inclusive in the process as possible. Faculty, staff, the administration, students, outside stakeholders, some board members, bringing as many of the key stakeholders in the process as possible. And that was very, very successful. We conducted a SWOT analysis, SWOT, and the S and W reflect those internal aspects, our strengths and our weaknesses. The OT are those external factors that look at the opportunities and the threats that the environment is imposing on you or confronting you with. You really get an idea of where you have some weaknesses, where you have some strengths, but more importantly, how can you begin to take advantage of the opportunities and threats that are out there and help avoid some of the problems that may surface. So I think it was a very honest, reflective, candid process that is really important to be able to develop a plan that's going to allow us to move forward as an institution. Some of the components of the plan have already begun, and probably one of the most important ones in the plan is the Engaged Learning Program. And it's all designed around the idea that it's important that in order to really learn effectively today, it's important not only to learn in the classroom, but to learn outside the classroom. You learn best by doing things like internships, co-ops, other field experiences, study abroad or other cultural experiences, civic or community learning, research, performances in the arts and so forth. So there's a whole menu of things that students are going to be looking to do. It really begins to personalize your education. And so when you graduate from Rider University, you're going to be graduating with a portfolio of experiences that really does reflect a holistic education. But also tied into that is the idea of a vibrant, living, learning community. The campus becomes a critical component to that. That contributes to that idea of engagement, that idea of interaction, the idea of learning is 24/7. The concept of the promise goes back to our heritage of the university. When we started 152 years ago, Andrew J. Rider, at the first graduating class, made the comment to the students that we are here to fulfill the promise. The students came up with the idea that there are certain components of your experience at Rider that we want to make sure are sort of the cornerstones of who we are. And they used the word promise as sort of the acronym that goes down the PROMISE. And we're really excited by that because it gives meaning to some of those key components of who we are as an institution. This is a very exciting time to be at Rider. We really are working to transform the institution because we want to transform lives. It's also an important time, I think, for higher education in general. The cost of education is high. The value of education is being questioned. We don't want that to be the issue. But we also understand we have to be more current and looking forward as to the nature of the changes taking place in the world around us. And we want to make sure that Rider has made those transitions for our faculty, for our staff, for our students, so that they are now prepared to be able to leave Rider and be successful in a changing world. And by doing that as part of our Engaged Learning Program, we are beginning to create that transformational experience. And again, since it goes beyond just the classroom and incorporates a vibrant living learning community and the other kinds of development components of a student's growth, it really is beginning to develop a lifelong relationship with your institution. So when they graduate, they want to stay connected to the university. When you have that alumni come back and tell you 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, Professor X, this is what I'm doing now, and it's because of you. That's a very powerful experience. I want every Rider graduate to have that kind of experience, that they know their life is different and better today because of the interactions they had at Rider University.